Hello and welcome to part 3 of Sunbeam Alpine Tiger recreation. Now, not many bloggers, or vloggers as they call it, so as the young ones tell me, seem to give a background of who they are and what they've done in life. Well, I'm going to tell you now a few things about myself. But if you want to get to the good bits, you obviously have to fast forward it rather than be bored by listening to what I've got to say. However, right, I've been messing about with cars and bikes since the age of 12. I had my first motorbike at 16, legally on the road. Right, so I served a full apprenticeship in 1979 as a welder stroke engineer, which did interesting things with all sorts of things in the field. And then I worked as a car sales mechanic for 3 years at a small local car sales, so well into cars. I've rebuilt engines from Morris Minor, straight 6 Jag, Fords, and especially Rover V8s, TVRs, 4 litre, 4.3, and I'm a man of coils and roads, parts, turf riding, cranks, big valving heads, you name it. I've had a go at it. These engines, what I've rebuilt, have been known to rev to just over 7,000 RPM for a Rover V8. That's very good. So as you can see, I chucked a lot of money at Rovers, TVR engines in particular. I've had quite a few good cars in my time: ZM3 Roadsters, Nissan 350Z. I built a jalopy, you would say 1936 Austin 10. I'll put that in a little bit of a photo. And the reason why I've gone into Alpines again is, one is my dad owned an Alpine many years ago, which was the one with the slope fins, and I took an interest. So I was in 2003, I brought my first Series 5 Alpine, but I was looking for something special. Now when I say special, different, I like different. I like something what looks nice, handles, and goes like stink. So as I went to Stirling in Scotland and I looked at a Mark V about 2003, which this guy had done an Alfa Romeo GTV engine. Now apparently back in the days of rallying, this was a popular choice of engine. Now the guy in Stirling, he'd done about 6 of these, and I brought the actual last one he did, so he probably got it right. The vehicle was not too bad. There was no servo on it, so it was like jumping on a wooden block for the brakes. But I trialled it all the way back home. It was estimated about 120 horsepower. This engine was. There was a lot of modifications done to it, for lightning and this, that, and the other. But it wasn't quite my cup of tea, but it was a start. So interestingly enough, I pulled the engine out, stripped all the engine down. I fitted 45 Del Autos, Colombiana, I call it Birani camshafts, which was an Italian camshaft, high lift cam. My mate at Cylinder Head Developments, he did the head. He big valved it and he ported it, he polished it, he CC'd it, and we got it all nice, put some nice tyres on it, 1 or 2 other upgrades, and then it was took to Alden Automotive in Brierley Hill. Now they got it on their rolling road, they tuned it, and we was achieving, no word of a lie, nearly 150 horsepower at the back wheels. So as it was quite a nippy car, it was light, and in fact it did a second or so better round Kerbera circuit than my 4.3 TVR. Now the TVR, I just could not get the power down on that at all. It was just wicked. So as time went on, I've done my TVRs, fully rebuilt TVRs. Was in TVRs into a big way over the last 12, 15 years. So then I thought I got a bit bored, COVID coming, this, that and the other. So I thought maybe I'm going to look for another Alpine. So as I found by word of mouth on the forums, somebody who'd started this Alpine, he'd had it probably 12, 15 years, and he's probably done a few thousand miles. And I think what had happened, he must have had a Cobra engine, gearbox and back axle knocking about somewhere in the back of his shed, and decided to shoehorn it into the Alpine I brought. So as I thought, interesting. So I went and had a look at it. It was totally not what I expected. The bodywork was good. It spent a lot of money on the bodywork, but the engine conversion was it was supposed to be a hypo, but I'm not sure on that. There's quite a few nice bits: Elderbrock manifold, Holy Carb, and it's a top loader Mustang gearbox, and it's a shortened Mustang back axle. Obviously, you'll know on part 1 and part 2 what I've been up against with a few little bit of bodges, what I've got to improvise on. So I brought the car, sort of, okay, we agreed a price, and I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to put a 302 in it, and I'm going to put a Tremac 5-speed gearbox in it, which I've now got the Tremac 5-speed gearbox. The little story goes, I worked several nights to get the car on the road to do things what I thought was going to be a problem. So we had no handbrake cable, and the back brakes was partly seized. I checked all the engine over, changed the oil filter, run the engine up. It seemed to run fine. So as we got to the show, first time I've actually driven it on the road, and my advice to the guy who did the car: never ever put the servo on the back axle. There is a bit of a time lag, vacuum lag on the servo, so when you're coming up to a junction or an island, you've got no brakes basically. So after that, we found out the gearbox as well, first, second, third, the bearings are shot on the lay shaft, which I'll probably repair that and move that on, but like I say, we'll see how things go. So it's a quick car. It was a quick car. Obviously, I've got no brakes, so it was only like, roll on. Fourth gear was brilliant. Not a problem in fourth because it's straight through on these boxes. So we made it to the show on Saturday, and then Sunday came along and we hit some traffic problems. So this car, in my opinion, was not good enough for hot weather. The radiator, there's an aluminium radiator the guy put in, and it's not big enough. No way. And also, I knew there was a problem because he took the valve out, the heater matrix. So the heater matrix was running hot all the while, and I even put the blower on full blast to assist the cooling on that day. However, it got hot, spewed oil out. It was all up the passenger side wheel arch, and it was making a loud tapping noise on the left-hand bank. So I thought, oh dear. So anyway, I got it there. When it had cooled down on the night, the tapping noise had gone, but there was several oil leaks from the engine and the gearbox. So I don't think it had had a run for a good while. So to cut a long story short, I've now decided to strip everything out and redo it. So I've brought 1 or 2 parts. I'm just going to show you now some of my history on my Mark V Alpine from 2003, which I paid about £4,000 for it. Bear with me. So this was the magazine that the Alpine was in, Retro Cars, in January 2004. So I actually achieved a centre page spread on this, and there she was, done at a local event. Next page, there's me in the top left hand, wearing a moustache, and as you can see, the Alfa Romeo GTV engine. It was mated to a 105 alpha gearbox, which was giving me 5 gears, and it was actually, I had the speedometer recalibrated and printed to 140 miles an hour by Speedograph of Richfield. They told me what to do to calibrate it, and given them the rotations on the speedo cable, got it sorted. And the car actually did, on a private road, I must say, it would do 120 miles an hour in fourth, and when you put it into fifth it would still be doing 120, but obviously the revs had come down, so it was like an overdrive. The problem was with the car, it was very, very revvy. Now, my mate had a RS Cosworth at the time, and mine was quicker off the mark, believe it or not, up to 60 mile an hour. And then he comes flying past me. He could not believe how quick that car was. Now, that was sold to a guy, an American guy. I tried to buy it back years back, but I believe now that car is now in Belgium. So as if anybody comes across it, would be nice to see it. However, next page. And there is a few shots of me having some fun round a private road, going round an island, and that's my mate in Cylinder Head Developments. He's still going, Andy. He's taking on quite a few jobs, so as if you need to get in touch with him, there's his phone number, 01527 870 472. He's absolutely brilliant, and he knows his beans. And that is another creation I did in 2000, Austin 10, 1936, and I actually took it to Warsaw Show in, I think it was about 2001 when I'd finished it, but I actually repainted the mud wings British Racing Green like the rest of the car. Don't know what happened to the car, but it was fun. So as here, we've brought some mini lights, 7" by 15, so as we can put a bit of rubber around them. I'm actually going for a tyre, Nankang tyre, which is like a semi-slick, so that should give plenty of grip, but they won't come for a few weeks' time. It's a new tyre what's come out. They are in stock, but the guy's on holiday, so I'll be able to tell you about that later. So there's the servo. So as we're removing that, I just don't know why he's put that there at all. I really don't. So as the fuel pump as well, that is as noisy as can be. You cannot hear the engine through the fuel pump. So as we've got to sort that out somewhere, and I thought, to be honest with you, that it wasn't on rubber mounts, but it actually is. So as we're doing that at the moment, we're just doing the brakes, just sorting out the handbrake cable, and also I found some new discs, which for the Mustang back axle you'd think that was a Ford disc, but well, they are a Ford disc actually, but they are not an Escort disc. They are ST Focus ST rear discs, what fit on absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to leave this with you now, but I'm going to concentrate on sorting all these brakes out over the next few days. Right then, I think we need to make some space, and I can do using that bike lift for the engine and gearbox and other bits and bobs. So as I think looking at the garage, I think we need to sort it all out. So as let's get on with that then first. Okay, we have now got a nice garage to work in, so as the project begins. So as we've got the front cross member out, and we're just stripping that down now. A few things here, we've got a problem with that nut. We've got to count the shims on that to make sure that all goes back. There's a few things I'm not really pleased about, which is post steering mount rack. I'm going to redesign this. This is like somewhat off a bloody shopping trolley, so we'll cut it all off and we'll start again. I haven't had any nasty surprises so far, apart from the spaces between this and the chassis were absolutely crumbled to pieces. I think it will shot blast up okay. I shall blast it first and then we'll do all these mods on it. We've got the front hub off, disc and the arm. Those bushes have been replaced, but they look like a poly bush. I'm going to pull those out because we're going to completely revamp the whole lot. So as, I shall be looking for quite a few bits. Then we'll have it all powder coated in black. So as, we'll leave that there for now. So, don't start without the box. So I'm logging everything. It's something I've learned over the years. Best to find out what you got in your bags rather than have a big pile at the end of the day. So, all the front assemblies now stripped down apart from the rubbers, which I'll pull them out. I should replace those. These buggers here, which a bit of penetration oil in there, should sort that out. Now, the only thing I can see what's been uprated on the front are actually the springs. So as this may interest somebody, we've got 4.5 inch outside diameter, and they're 10.25 inches high, 5/8 thick, which is 16 millimeters in metre inch. Now I'm putting a load of stuff in the box. They'll be shot blasted, cleaned up, inspected, and then they'll go for powder coating. Now I've got a choice of arms here. We've got the original Sunbeam one, and also we've got the MGB ones, which I'm going to try different scenarios. Now when I noticed I was driving the car, there was quite a lot of toe out on the driver's side. Now if you look at the rack, we haven't found out what rack it is. Certainly not an MG midget rack. Not sure on that, but we've had some extensions which I shall take all those off anyway, clean them all up. The rack's fine. Front shock absorbers, standard shock absorbers by the look of it, not being uprated. So as there again, there's some new gas ones on order. So as the original aluminium spacer plates between the front cross member and the chassis, they're all aluminium. Over the years, this is one what I've actually collected today off Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Well, two of them. They've just got to be cleaned up. But looking at these plates, easy enough to actually make yourself out of some aluminium. I think I shall probably have these powder coated to stop any future corrosion. Usually, years ago, when I've done aluminium to steel, there's always been a thin plastic liner between that and the steel because of the reaction it creates. Right, moving on. The hubs, I shall strip those down, all new bearings and everything. I'm not sure whether I'm having new hubs because I'm having vented discs. I'll wait and find out what comes in the kit. Now moving on to the anti-roll bar front. Now that is 3/4. I'm going to upgrade that to 7/8, which I think that'll be appropriate. Now if I can just come round here, we've been having a good poke with a chassis. I've had a screwdriver on there. The chassis is absolutely brilliant round here. Can't wait to get the engine out and sort everything out in the engine bay. Radiator is inappropriate for that, so that'll be going. And we'll be moving this was a bad idea. I mean, look at this for a sandwich plate for the oil. Jubilee clips, come on. So what, we're going to have some braided hoses with some crimp ends on there, but we're going to face that up that way, and then we're going to have the oil filter in the engine bay and the servo as well while we're at it. So we're going to fit an oil cooler as well. Now I've actually got a small oil cooler to do that job, and we need some new manifolds as well. One of the manifolds is really been bodged up there, as you can see it. So I shall have some new manifolds, have them ceramic coated. Now this piece here, what somebody's God knows what they've done to that. I'll cut that out, find the appropriate pipe, do that. I'll have them shot blasted and then sprayed with a bit of VHT silver, whatever, and I shall sell those on, because they're not too bad, to be quite honest with you, but I want something really bob on for the ceramic coating. What else are we doing? Yeah, we're going to scrape all the crap off underneath. I'm just ready to remove the exhaust, separate the exhaust headers from the pipe, and then pull the radiator out, remove all the auxiliaries, and we're going to drop the engine and box. So hopefully part 4, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be on to pulling that out on there. So that will be interesting. Oh look, new wheels. Right, they're not genuine mini lights, but they're very close to the original ones of the car. There again, we've gone 15-inch wheels, and we've gone for a 7J. Now, if you can look, we might have pushed it to an 8, but I'm playing it safe and going 225s on that. And we're putting some nice Nankangs on it, NR2Rs, I think they are, for anybody's interested. So tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, perhaps Monday, we will be removing the servo and sorting the handbrake system out. So that should be interesting. Probably put that onto part 4 maybe. So anyway, thank you for watching, and if you subscribe, then when I do part 4 you should be notified on YouTube. It's going to be an interesting job. It's been quite challenging, especially getting the bolts out. Right, okay, especially getting the bolts out of the front member. I've just got a couple more to pull out. I'm gonna have to renew, all of them, everything. I'm gonna renew everything on there. So we've got UNC, we've had some metric mismatches on 1 or 2 other things as well. So it's interesting, and it's keeping me going anyway. So like I say, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on part 4. Bye.